Hi guys, welcome to another Space Marine tactical video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Honor Guard choice, which is an unlocked, it's unlocked after you get a Chapter Master. So they don't take up a Force Organization chart slot on their own, so you can take them without worrying about stepping on the toes of elites and that kind of thing. Okay, so basically these models here are my Stern Guard. They're halfway through being painted, but today they're Honor Guard because I don't have any Honor Guard models. And this captain will count as the Chapter Champion. Okay, so basically I'm going to give you an example today. I've got a little game set out here against normal Space Marines. I'm going to give you an example of how I would run them and why, and basically the kind of potential damage they can do. So to start with, I'll go over what you get. So you get basically a Space Marine Sergeant stat line. So you get 2 attacks each per model, but leadership 10 and artificer armor on everybody. And also everyone gets a power weapon. So of course you can pick whichever power weapon you want. There's basically 4 different kinds. I personally go with the power mauls, but there are plenty of other options. Go with what you feel is right. The only one I'd say to avoid really is the power axe, but you'll see basically I like to strike at initiative, and my tactics in this situation especially is to use volume of dice at high strength, which the power maul gives me. So, and also it lets me attack other things as well, like mass attacks on transports or vehicles, for that matter, any kind of vehicle. Okay, so what else do I equip them with? Well, I like to give, well, this is what I would give them, is everyone gets an auxiliary grenade launcher. Okay, now, thing to bear in mind here is that that's incredibly expensive, okay? But the thing is, if you're taking Honor Guard, no matter what, they're an expensive unit right from the start, okay? If you want to get a decent sized squad who won't just fold to small arms fire, then it's going to cost you, okay? And if you're forking in the points there, then you need it to do its job. So because of that, give them whatever. Give them whatever they need to do their job properly, okay? So because of that, everyone gets power wall, everyone gets auxiliary grenade launcher in my eyes. Okay, I know most people don't rate auxiliary grenade launchers, but I'm going to show you why I take them in a minute. Okay, so just lost my track here a bit. Yeah, so basically I'll give you an example of what happens. But yeah, the other thing to bear in mind is that basically this is the only unit in the game, well, in the Space Marine Codex, that can take grenade launchers and everyone, but it's also the only one apart from Vanguard veterans that can take power weapons on everyone. So basically this makes it fill a kind of role which is unusual. It's basically a hammer blow unit. If you see my hammer blow video from Sisters of Battle, the Battle Conclave, you'll see what I'm talking about. But it's different from Terminators in that way, because you get the normal Terminators, which are shooting but with those slow, heavy attacks, okay? And then you got the Assault Terminators, which again, really heavy attacks or lots of close combat ones, but then they don't have this dual role that these ones do, so these feel a really niche gap, and you're not going to need them every time, but you can use them against everything. So anyway, let's get started with this example. So anyway, the red dice are bolt pistols, because you always want to be charging with these, okay? And you always want to be in the 12-inch range, of course, so we've got those bolt pistols. And then the purples are crack grenades from the grenade launchers, okay? The white ones are also going to be crack grenades, but basically they're from the Chapter Champion. Now the reason they're white is because of precision strikes, basically. And the reason it's got 2 is because auxiliary grenade launchers fire whenever you fire a weapon, okay? They fire in addition. So what that means is you can still throw a grenade, a normal crack grenade, at 8 inches, and then fire an auxiliary grenade as well. So it's just an extra grenade, okay? So let's roll these bolt shots first, okay? So as normal, hitting on threes. Okay, so not bad. 4 misses there. Take them out. I mean, basically this is just softening up before we charge, and then we'll roll these crack grenades. Okay, that's pretty good. There's only 2 misses there. Is that 2 misses? No, 1 miss. Even better. Then we'll roll the characters. Okay, so 2 more. Okay, so as you can see, that's already a lot of crack hits. Now, they're wounding on 2 against Space Marines, and you can see why I picked Space Marines, because generally Space Marines are always the same thing. So I've just rolled these again. Amazingly, 3 fails, but you know. Okay, so that's a lot of wounds there. And then of course, sorry, hold the camera steady. These wound on a 4 as usual, so not bad, again, above average. So now because of this, okay, just from shooting bolt pistols and the auxiliary grenade launchers, I've caused this many wounds against this squad, okay. And as I was saying, the reason I've used Space Marines as a target is because, you know, the free up armor, the toughness 4, you know, generally everything you face in the game is going to be some kind of variant of this. So if you can do well against these, then you can do well against anything. So anyway, roll this as armor saves, and as you can see, there's a lot of 2s already. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, way above average. This is cocked. Oh, well, failed, but we'll count that as a pass anyway, because that's a bit unfair. So 5 already. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 extra 5. So as you can see, already that squad has taken a lot of casualties. They would have to do a leadership test. So I just knocked the sergeant over. They have to do a leadership test, and they hold whatever. So anyway, then you charge in. Okay, I know I've got them quite far apart, so I'll just move them here. But let's just say you make your charge range. I mean, you'd want to be as close as possible before doing that shot anyway. Okay, under the unit rules for Honor Guard, the chapter champion, he has to challenge, but when he's fighting against a character in the enemy unit, he gets to reroll all hit rolls, all to hit rolls, and all wound rolls. So that's pretty powerful. So basically, you throw out a challenge. Any sensible sergeant would just be like, no, sod that, and decline. But then this unit can't use their leadership, although you'll see that won't really matter in this situation anyway. What's it? Or, you know, he could accept it, but then he's going to get those reroll to hits against him and reroll to wounds, so he's going to struggle there. I should just mention that with the chapter champion, I give him a different loadout to everyone else. Basically, he's got slightly higher weapon skill, but I give him a relic blade. Now that's my personal preference. So it's basically strength 6, AP 3, but it means you lose that extra attack for 2 close combat weapons. But it strikes at initiative as well, so that's good. That tends to wreck anything in power armor, and I take that purely for challenges, because a lot more things are armor value free when you're challenging. I also give him a power axe as his default power weapon. Okay, so that means he can take out artificer armor characters if he needs to, or you know, that kind of thing. Now, since he would be re-rolling to wound against them anyway and re-rolling to hit, then it doesn't really matter about losing that extra attack from having a relic blade, and also it doesn't really matter that you're not striking strength 6 against other things, but obviously you want to strike at initiative if you can. So generally I would use the relic blade for every attack, but you know, if he needs it, it's got that power axe there. Okay, so say this is going on. Okay, you charge in, obviously striking at initiative 4, but any sergeant who accepts your challenge is generally going to get crumped. So especially a normal one like this, so he'd probably decline, which means you've only got the 4 normal Marines to worry about. Okay, I mean, this is already heavily biased against it, but let's just roll these dice, okay? I know this isn't even the right amount of attacks, it'd actually be more, because everyone's got 2 close combat weapons, everyone's charged in, and everyone's got 2 attacks base, so it's like 4 attacks every time you go in. And also, sorry, I'll count as a roll, so you hit on 4s as usual. A few extra here. So yeah, you can see there's quite a few hits already, but also bear in mind, if you take the chapter banner, which I would highly recommend, you get an extra attack as well, so everyone gets 5 attacks on the charge, which is just as much as the Death Cult Assassins. So you can see already, and that's all strength 6, you know, so blah blah blah, you know, wounding on 2s, they're all wounds, they're all wounds, those are all wounds, and made a single miss. Everything I rolled there rolled a wound. Okay, wish I could get those kind of things from my armor saves all the time, but you know. So obviously, then they have a massive pile of dice they have to pass. Okay, and if they fail a few, like even there, I didn't roll all of them really. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 already. I mean, who knows? 6, sorry. So who knows how many would die? But basically, they're gone. You know, in that charge and the assault. I mean, they get to attack back, but because you're still toughness 4, still weapon skill 4, and of course you've got that artificer armor, which means the only thing you have to fear is power axes, power fists, and thunder hammers, and chain fists, of course, that kind of thing. And generally, they always strike at initiative 1. So, what does that mean? Well, obviously, it means you're going to kill them before they get a chance to kill you. I mean, you may lose a couple to mass attacks, but because you've got so many anyway, then it doesn't really matter. And obviously, your chapter banner means you would get +1 wound in the thing anyway. So, I mean, what's that? That'd be +5 already. So 7 +5. He's running. So then sweeping, advance him or whatever, or just chase him off, shoot him. So as you can see, that's pretty powerful. A few notes I would mention is the first thing is, even though they have bolters, which is nice because you can get that 24-inch range if they're not in range, never choose to rapid fire and use the auxiliary grenade launchers. Always go for the charge, because you need those extra strength 6 attacks to really hit a unit. Okay, I mean, if you rapid fire them, all you're getting really is 9 more bolt gun shots instead of all those extra attacks on the charge. So, you know, always use the bolt pistol and a crack or frag grenade. You know, and don't forget, yeah, auxiliary grenade launchers also fire frag if you need it. So that's a hell of a lot of templates against guard and stuff like that. Crack grenades at AP4, so against orcs you're going to be wiping them out, that kind of thing. Remember that your obviously your power mauls are as well, so these guys will love playing against orcs. Okay. So yeah, they're really expensive, but remember, unlike the Death Cult Assassins as a hammer blow unit, these guys do their preliminary work themselves. You don't need that extra unit to shoot them up, soften them, or take that charge. These guys can do it themselves. They're a lot more survivable. They don't have invulnerable saves, but generally that doesn't really matter because you're going to shoot things off the table. Okay, you need to be clever with them. You need to make sure things happen on your turn. Okay, if they do get charged, then they've got enough to fight back. Only certain things will be able to deal with them, and even then, they'll be posing. Well, they'll be putting themselves at risk by coming up against this much stuff. Don't forget, you get to fire auxiliary grenade launchers in Snapfire as well. It's quite a lot, you know. I mean, think about it. Do you want to charge through that many crack grenades? Some are going to stick, you know. So the last thing then I really need to go over is that getting these guys into assault is a priority, so you're going to have to fork out a bit more. Basically, you want some kind of transport, and it's going to want an assault ramp. The reason being, that protects them. It means you can be aggressive with them, drive them to where they need to be. So the obvious choice is a Land Raider of some sort. I wouldn't go with a normal Land Raider in this situation. I would either choose the Crusader for extra bolt gunshots, which are twin linked, not bad, or probably I would go with the Redeemer because it's cheaper and also I think it's better. It's got better weapons anyway, and it excels being in someone's face, so even if these guys fall flat on their ass, you've got the Land Raiders to back them up. Or if you want to go cheaper, you can now go with a Storm Raven, which also has the assault vehicle thing, or it's a little bit more fragile. It's much faster and it's got a lot of weaponry to protect them and stuff, so worth thinking about. But remember, I mean, even if you just do hop them out and shoot, they can really put some hurt on the right kind of enemy. But if you're up against Marines like these, just general Marines, generally make sure you can get that assault, okay? So yeah, they're going to be expensive. You've got the Chapter Master you have to buy first. You've got the Squad you have to buy. It costs a lot to get them up like this. All the upgrades, that kind of thing. And then some kind of assault transport, okay? But then they can run independently. You have to build an army list around this unit, basically. They're going to be a linchpin unit. So if you're sensible with them, I mean, if you're up against lots of plasma cannons, that kind of thing, make sure they can take what they go up against pretty decisively. Give them some support in that situation. Space them out against template blasts, that kind of thing. Try and take out like Vindicators, that kind of thing, before they get near them. But even if they do, I mean, you know, hopefully by then it'll be endgame or whatever. So just play them smart, play them conservatively, yet at the same time make sure they get into the attack. I know that seems contradictory, but I'll probably go over what I mean in a later video. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Honor Guard. Pretty unorthodox, I know, compared to most people's setup, but I found that works pretty well. So give it a try. Let me know what you think, and I'll have more videos for you later. Thanks for watching.